go on up here and try to get into this Area 51. I'm right south of this Nevada test site, or Nellis Air Force Base.
Listen,
I'm right outside this restricted zone.
listen to me. When you fly into that zone,
Yeah.
they are going to either push you down or shoot you down. Don't you know that?
Well, you know, I've been in a lot of Air Force bases. I've been in the Air Force for many years. I'm an ex-Air Force, but I'm just going to tell you that, you know, as American citizens, we have the right to know what's up there in this Area 51. And I've been listening to people and talking about this. Hold on here, I'm taking a turn. This thing here. And I'm going to go on up there and see what's going on. And I just wanted to let you know about that before I do that, don't you know? 1x4 crossroads.
This will be at Odell Middle School, school ground, 14401. As is now located between 8 to 10 males in the pool house parking lot. I think we're live now. It's still loading on my computer. I don't know.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to open Twitch. Let me have a look.
I know. Well, don't expect me to monitor the chat very well because I cannot multitask.
I think that's kind of
And there we are. Yay! Look at us. Our screen is so tiny. Brian, zoom in on that. I'm not in control of what you guys see right now, so don't blame me. Blame Brian.
Blame Brian.
No, I'm sorry. Thank you, Brian, for doing this for me because it's 8 a.m. for me. Good morning, everyone. I have 5 hours of sleep, so if I mess up on anything, that's not my fault.
We'll forgive you.
Thank you.
Made it smaller and smaller. Why, honey?
Brian is
Why?
protesting.
Bye, everyone. You don't
Looks
get
like
to
Team
see
Rocket's blasting off again, I guess.
first. Anyway, we're Standing Stones. We are doing some streams this morning. For the last weekend, I don't know how to speak. And we're raising money for Rose Hip Medics in Portland. There will be some mods in the chat that will drop those commands and those links for you to check them on out. But donate. We've got some incentives such as rolling with advantage and disadvantage for the players and bonus strings. So make sure you send those screen caps on over to our email. I'm Mab. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Little Lady Mab, and you can find our production team over on Twitter at Stones_standing and right here on Twitch. We have some special guests with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Take it away, special guests, in whatever order you please.
I can
I was
start
saying,
then.
I
I'm
will
sorry.
enforce an order. No, it's okay. I didn't know what order we wanted to go in because the doc order is different than the Roll20 order is different from the Discord order. So,
Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon O'Brien. I am a writer, poet, game designer. I do a lot of things, and I'm just happy to be here, essentially. Yeah.
All right. I'm Helen. You can find me on Twitter at Electo101. That is ALECTO101. I work with the Rusty Quill Gaming Podcast and various other associated shows with them, by which I mean the other Rusty Quill podcasts. And I am also a writer and poet and also an editor and sensitivity reader. And that's all of the pertinent things about me.
Fantastic. And the normal cast and crew that that you guys are used to seeing. We love them. They're here to laugh at my bad jokes because they know them very well. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at Big Mom Energy. I'm a mom, and then I do this for fun. That's me.
Yay!
Yeah, you can find the other podcasts that I'm on at Roomware Pod on Twitter.
And I'm Jade. You can find me on the Twitter at Jade Oxford Rose. I use they, them pronouns. You can hear me playing a myriad of different characters over on Follow the Leader at FTLcast. You can also hear me on Dumb Kids Playing Hero, an Animorphs inspired actual play podcast with a number of other people from both the room where it happened and Follow the Leader, because we just do a lot of stuff together because we are Standing Stones and we make podcasts and we stream.
Indeed.
And that is what we do here.
Good times.
Good times.
Yeah, so
Who are you,
real
Mab?
quick. I'm
Yeah.
Mab. I said it at the top.
Did you?
I
What'd you say?
did. I'll say it again because I'm so fantastic. You guys might have just been blinded by my brilliance.
That was
I'm
awesome.
Mab. You can.
Eminently possible.
Thank you. I am the Fake Queen. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Little Lady Mab. And because I forgot, thank you, Jade, for reminding me. Pronouns she, her. They are also very tiny on our layover overlay words.
Our
And-
layover. Mhm.
I'm going flying right now.
Oh,
I'm
bless.
really tired. Wow. I didn't realize how tired I was until I started talking. So this will be great. Everyone, we're playing Monsterhearts. Yeah, I'm going to be mean to some teenagers. Our lines, which are things that we don't want to see, are racism, sexism, transphobia, homophobia, violence against children, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, emotional abuse, claustrophobia, drowning, suffocation, romantic or intimate relationships between teachers and students, and our veils, which are things we're fine with addressing but we'll just fade to black on, steamy situations, terminal illness, pandemics, self-harm, graphic descriptions of bodily harm. We are going to be playing a game in the perfect world where this didn't happen, so don't worry. There's no social distancing here. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so on that, as far as the lines that we had spoken of before, the idea of violence against children. On one hand, I typically don't run very heavy combat games just because I don't like having to think about it. And it is just harder for me to be like, I don't know if this action scene sounds cool. And then also they are all older teenagers that have the ability to defend themselves in some way. And the emotional abuse, there will be some bullies because it is high school. And I will be mean because I like to pick on my players. Otherwise, it's not going to be like intense gaslighting. It's not going to be things from especially like partners or parents or anything like that. Those are what we mean for the emotional abuse sort of lines. Is there anything else at the top that you guys want to say? No.
I'm good.
Fantastic. So then let's go ahead and I realized last night when I was blurring out the name of the school on that photo that we didn't name our school, but that's okay.
In my head, it's Sunnydale.
All right.
Wow.
Excellent.
Deep cuts.
Oh,
I
yes.
like it.
That is everyone's cultural touchstone. So, you know, I just pulled a lot of pictures of San Diego. So that's fine. But, you know, it is what it is in our hearts, and school is for fools. But let's go ahead and introduce our cast of characters. We'll just go ahead down in the doc order. So, Brandon, if you want to go first, and we'll start from there.
I'm playing Ever Collins, the witch, who migrated to this place from the Caribbean with their family, and brought a lot of very witchy shenanigans with them. And has developed their own way of turning that into a profit, not only by selling whatever spells someone might need, but if you're looking to get high, I'm also your person.
Also, do we want to go over the strings at the top or after we introduce all the other characters?
After.
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
it makes more sense to describe all our different relationships once everyone
Mhm.
knows who we all are.
You're
All
going to need
right.
a flow chart, friends.
Oh,
'cause
yes.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
Tangled web we're weaving.
Get the
Indeed.
red string out. my character is called Taylor, also known as Tay Tay. She is the ghost. She got hit by a car and nobody noticed, and now she's really bitter about it. So she used to have a lot of friends, but now she's like cut them all off, and she is focusing on her artwork.
Nice. I am playing Madison Walker, who only goes by the name Perry. They are a fae. They're a changeling that was switched at birth. They were originally an unseelie fae that they were banished from the fae realm for some weird petty crime. And they were switched into a very, very white bread suburban family. Their parents golf. Their parents are named Chad and Karen. You get the picture, right? So Perry doesn't remember much about their origins, but that comes and goes in little flashes. And as they get older, they're retaining more and more of those memories. They are very into art. They have long, messy dark hair with purple dyed highlights, the paint splattered overalls and tank tops, and sometimes they mismatch their Converse sneakers.
I am playing Caden Price, who is the Hollow, uses he, they pronouns. Oh, what to say? What to say about Caden? It's an old story. Person desires a child. They attempt a dark ritual using a beloved childhood toy as a focus. Ritual successfully creates a person before it backfires and kills the caster, leaving said person alone to be found by the police investigating the small explosion on the property. Tale as old as time. With no name or memory, only an awareness of what they came from and not believed when they explained, the person was processed and put into the system. Foster care came in the form of the Prices, the name Caden he picked from a book. That was 6 months ago. That's all the backstory there is. Now he's enrolled in school, moved here from out of town after his mum died, living with her folks now, homeschooled till now, just trying to learn the ropes, is what he'll tell anyone who asks. He tries not to invite questions, but when he's trying to learn stuff about other people to figure out what he wants to be, well, sometimes he has to come up with answers on the fly. He's getting marginally better at making stuff up. About 5'6", blue-black wavy hair, just long enough to start getting in the way. Very much looks like he cut it himself, because he did. Dark eyes, long eyelashes, freckles, a scar on his temple that looks almost like a crack that spiderwebs into the hairline. Incidental grunge aesthetic, not by choice, but clearly somebody that doesn't try very hard or doesn't look after their clothes very well. Probably bounced off every rail in the thrift shop on the way out. and that's Caden.
Awesome. So, strings.
Yeah.
Start telling me how you're all connected.
Strings.
Right.
Don't give me this. That's Monsterhearts, baby.
Right. So, ever stole Tay-Tay's diary?
That indeed I did.
Tay-Tay knows that Caden isn't
A real boy?
Yeah.
It's
I didn't
okay.
wanna
You
say
can
that.
do it. You can
It's-
make that joke.
It's a Pinocchio reference. It's all good.
Okay.
Yes.
And in turn, Caden knows that Tay-Tay is a ghost, but thinks that's probably fine.
Probably.
Probably. Also of note among my strings is that some of my strings are sympathetic tokens that I use for my magic. So I've been using Tay-Tay's diary as such. But I've also been using the teeth that I knocked out of the other witch on campus. Which is quite an image to me, and I love it. But I've also, as a result of something that we'll discover that I've done for Perry in the past, Perry owes me a favor. And I'm definitely going to cash in on that at some point.
I do owe you a favor. Let me see. So Tay, even though we are rivals in art class, Tay has a secret crush on Perry. And Perry saw Ever stealing Tay-Tay's diary, but hasn't told anybody.
As for Caden, Caden knows that Taylor is dead and hasn't really seen fit to make a big deal out of it. Just yeah, okay, she's a ghost. I'm also kind of weird. It's fine. This is fine. Why would it be weird? And where's my other ones? Because I'm scrolling up and down to the dock. I also have strings on Eva because of reasons. Because of reasons. Where'd it go? Because I've been taking my social cues from them. And you know, you have to pay attention to somebody to really get. So Eva, who you know punched out another witch to steal some teeth and is our resident on-campus drug dealer, is my go-to for how to be like a normal person. It's like, yes, this is my social template. I see no problem.
This is the best CW life that you could be living.
Exactly that. And also because like he's trying to suss out what being a teenager is like, how will pretty much try any product that Eva has available. It's like, what's that? Oh yeah, sure, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Very impressionable.
Also, aren't
Perry
and
Caden are dating.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that minor detail.
That minor detail.
Low key dating, but dating.
Low key, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. They're keeping it cash.
Yeah.
But it's a thing.
We're gonna leave room for polyamory Jesus.
Love
Oh yeah,
polyamory,
of course.
There's the polyamory Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because he has 12 boyfriends.
Oh, no, well,
Is that not where we were going? I don't understand.
this might be a
way,
southern thing. Oh no, this might be a southern U.S. thing.
Well, I mean,
When
like,
you tell,
yeah,
when you
yeah.
tell kids to get a part when you're a church person, and which I'm a recovering one, and you tell kids to stand apart so that they're not getting sexy or whatever,
Or
You
holding
say-
hands.
you
you
say
know?
leave room for Jesus.
Mhm.
So, which is
Nice.
so awful. It's terrible. It's awful. But we're gonna leave room for polyamory Jesus.
Because he wants to be a part of it. He wants to be involved.
Mhm.
So
I do
my
appreciate
story-
though. It is literally biblical canon that Jesus did have 12 boyfriends. So you know.
Yeah.
True.
you know, it's like I never thought about it that way.
And
But it's
fuck Mary
true.
Magdalene.
Doesn't that mean that one of Jesus's boyfriends cheated on him with money?
Yeah,
I mean, the tale as old as
that's
time.
capitalism, baby.
Oh my god! What are we doing?
The Vatican are going to shut
Okay.
down the stream, guys. We've got to make the
sorry,
most of
guys,
this
I'm
before
sorry.
the Catholic Church come and shut us down.
Uh,
I think that would be a grand achievement for everyone involved, actually.
I'm just imagining the Pope rolling up in the chat.
I thought you were going to say in his chair, and I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck
The
yeah.
whole 20,
He just
yeah.
glides in.
The
Like,
Standing
Uh-huh.
Stones gets raided, and it's the Vatican.
yeah.
The Vatican's official
Palpatine.
Twitch account.
All right, I'm leaving. I can't handle this. It's too early in the morning. You guys can govern
sorry.
yourselves.
I'm sorry, I did a bad. I let
No,
us
you
hear
did
it.
Will
Mhm.
You led,
Okay.
you led like Jesus, and so we did follow.
Oh,
We're here to play a game.
I love this.
Mhm.
Okay.
We can't
Oh,
just
and
talk
to
for 3
raise-
hours.
And to raise money for Rosehip Medic Group in Portland. Because
Yes.
just that's the other reason we're here.
That's
And it's great.
Yep.
Again, yes, there are donation incentives. I don't remember which ones they are. Just hit thank you for Jade in the chat. You can donate to give someone advantage or disadvantage, or you can give someone extra string on another person. I don't know what else there is. I don't remember. That's it. Perfect. So let's get started, shall we? Is there anything else you guys want to cover at the top, or should we just jump right in?
We'll jump right in.
Let's jump in. Mhm.
Our
Fantastic.
casual reminder that we do have the X card in place, so just like throw it into chat if you need us to stop or slow down on a scene or talk about it.
Yes.
This for our listeners as much as for us, but yes.
Yeah. Especially with this one, it's a little early in the morning to be dealing with some trauma, but we're gonna. So I accidentally just minimized all of my notes. Shit, no, come back. Here they are. Okay, thank God.
We all been there.
I don't know what I clicked and then everything disappeared, and I panicked. But it's fine. They're back now. So real quick then, before we go, Ever, if I can get the, why is my mouse not clicking now? Fuck my
Ever
life.
cast it.
It's fine. I don't have to use a mouse. If I can get the pronouns and a brief look for your rival, it looks like you named Lila.
Yes, Lila's pronouns are she, her.
Okay.
God, imagine Buffy with longer hair and a worse attitude.
Oh my God, it's literally going to be just Carrie. So that's great. We have 2 blonde mean girls. It's fine.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
what we're in Southern California, aren't we?
I know.
So-
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they grow in abundance here, I hear.
Oh yeah. When I first went to go tour my college campus, everyone was. I went to a school that was on the beach, and everyone had like bleached blonde hair, mothers and daughters. And my mom was like, I thought I was seeing the same person just walking around several times. I was like, no, Mom, that's just what everyone looks like down here. You're from SoCal. Why don't you know this?
Well, I've been intending to make Tay-Tay into a mean girl as well, but I don't know if
Yeah, I
she's going to
was-
be the same kind of mean girl.
Right. I was wondering if you would, before I had known Lila or anything like that, if you had known Carrie is the popular mean girl type of character. So I didn't know if you would have known or been friends with her before, in the before times.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would like to propose that Tay-Tay was like the leader of the mean girls.
Hell yeah.
And now Carrie is because
I
Tay-Tay
was like,
decided
you've been
fuck this
usurped.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah. You were gone for like 10 minutes and didn't respond to the group chat. And it's just like, well,
That's all it
Wow.
takes for gossip to get started.
yeah. Especially with high school mean girls.
Yeah.
Don't know right here we are.
God, I
Fant-
hated school.
Yeah.
And the girls at school.
Yep. Yep.
It was not a good time, and it remains not a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, August coming in strong with the donations to get us rolling. We've got an advantage for Ever and Perry and disadvantage for Taylor and Caden. Gee, thanks.
No
August.
pressure. That's August showing favorites right there. No, it's not. But well, maybe to Jade. I don't know.
So is that disadvantage on my next roll or throughout the game or?
It would be on your next roll.
All right then.
And
Okay.
yeah, and then I believe everyone here knows how to disadvantage and advantage works for Powered by the Apocalypse, but you would just roll 3d6, and for advantage take the 2 higher, disadvantage take the 2 lower. But
You're gonna
I
have
think
to
roll
walk
20
me through that when the time comes. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's
I think roll 20. It's a whole thing to
Yeah.
make it do it. But
Okay, cool.
yeah, you can.
Fairly
So
easy,
yeah.
I think.
What was that?
Oh, I was just reassuring that it's fairly easy to
Oh.
roll like if you haven't used
Yeah.
roll 20 before.
Okay.
On the left hand side, on the 5th option down, it shows, and if you hover over it, you see all the dice, and you can just like click like roll 3d6. So I just did that.
Oh. Ooh, cool.
Wow, you rolled really well. Good
I
thing
did.
you used up your no, just kidding.
No, that didn't count.
That didn't count. It's fine. Well, I mean, you're rolling at disadvantage. It would be great. That's beyond the point. I wish I had another monitor right now, but it's fine. So, also one final thing: where if I can get at least a seating arrangement for Caden and for Perry? I have Ever and Tay in the back row.
Oh,
For the listeners at home, I am not going to spend a lot of time in the classroom, so I didn't care to fill out the seating arrangement. But if I can at least get the seatings for the other two, just for
I'll
reasons.
take the seat in front of Eva, like C1, next to the window. I'm assuming that's the window side of the
It's the anime window seat. Yep.
Perry will be beside Caden in C2.
You guys are all delinquents in the back of the class.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's where
That's
the fun
fine.
happens.
Yeah. Where the teacher can't see you when there's only
See.
16 desks in an ideal world.
Rookie error. Sitting at the front, teacher overlooks the shit you get up to. My life hack. They never assumed you were doing anything because you chose to sit in the front.
I had to sit in the front because I
Little
can't see.
did they know. I was not that badly behaved in school. That too. That too.
All right. So we are opening up. Unlike the last time that we played Monsterhearts on this stream, in which it was a foggy Twin Peaks style school, we're in SoCal-ish. That vibing. We're vibing with SoCal. And so it is sunny. There are obviously some palm trees, and you can hear the distant roar of the ocean in the background at all times. Just imagine it. It's I will say it's a little bit into the new school year. We are going to pick up with the idea that we are in season 2 and of our show Monsterhearts. And so all of the strings that you guys just heard at the top are kind of the setup that we had by the end of season 1. That is all of the shit and drama that they got up into. And so now we're left with just this mess of piled string on the table that we're all going to pick at for the next few hours. And so in doing so, are we thinking junior or senior year of high school, 11th or 12th grade?
What does that
I
mean
think
in-
that's actually year 12 or year 13.
Okay.
12 or 13. Okay, I was kind of like, I know it's not actually year 11 for you guys. I couldn't remember.
Mhm.
I just knew that it didn't line up.
Okay.
So like somewhere between 17, 18. I was considering making a really bad, very California specific joke for maybe no one out there in the chat. I don't know who else is in California.
Everyone else might be in bed still.
I know Ashlyn's on the chat, and Ashlyn is on the West Coast. So I've got one person. One person in solidarity at 8 a.m. And we had this thing that was called the California High School Exit Exam. And I was considering just making it so you guys would have an excuse to sit in your homeroom class for like 2 hours. But then I decided, no, it's awful to even consider. And so we're not going to worry about that. But so you guys are a few weeks into the new school year, but in doing so, you guys have all found yourself in the same class. That does not bode well for some of you, depending on how things went last year, you know, like the fact that Ever punched their rival and got a tooth. The fact that Ever then also stole a diary. And somewhere over the course of season 1, Tay died. Probably at the very top, but also that's still a lot to have to deal with. And so you guys are in class, and in the very anime spirit of things, there's going to be a transfer student. And so
Are they hot?
I don't know. I don't think so. But to each their own. He is for all intents and purposes kind of an average looking person. He is like not too tall, not too short, and has vaguely Eurasian features. His name he's introduced as Odo La Framboise, so he has a nice, fancy, pretentious name too, and he just kind of like gives a very bland smile and waves to the class, and you guys are all kind of finding yourself initially just glazing over him. You're just like, all right, it's just a new kid. I don't know why he doesn't look that interesting. And then when he like turns around to start heading in towards the desks, it feels like at the exact same moment, each one of you can feel like he is looking directly at you. And you notice that his eyes, while originally just kind of like in a very plain face, are dark and like stormy gray, and they latch on to each of you. So we're going to start the game off at the very top with, I want everyone to either make a keep your cool or a gaze into the abyss. Make your argument for why you're rolling either. I love, August, that you let them roll at advantage and disadvantage for this. Oops, I forgot to open the game PDF. I had everything else ready to go. So
I believe there's a handout in
yeah,
the Roll20 with the references for the moves if
Should-
anybody needs them.
Okay.
and it would be nice and available on hand. Yep. If you click on that the little folded newspaper underneath handouts,
Yeah. So keep your cool. You would roll with cold, and gaze into the abyss. You would roll with dark, if I remember correctly.
correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I want to know why on either end you guys would pick that, aside from just I have the better cool stat or I have the better dark stat. And like so, and then, like what it would look like for each of you to when you kind of feel like at this point your soul is being a little picked apart.
Hmm.
Are we starting in seating order?
Sure, we can go. It can ripple back through the classroom. So Kaiden and Perry, you're first.
Do you want to?
It doesn't really matter. I need you all to roll whatever. Like, just hit your buttons. But you're gonna have to roll with advantage or disadvantage as indicated by August's lovely donation. So Ever and Perry, you guys get to roll 3d6 and you'll take the higher two in the end. And Taylor and Kaiden, you'll roll 3d6 and take the lower two.
Okay. Can I just click in the character sheet, roll with dark? Or
I don't know if that lets you roll with advantage.
Okay. So the 3d6 takes into account my +1 dark.
We'll add that on after
Okay.
manually. I will do
Okay.
math.
All right. I'm going to gaze into the abyss.
All right.
Whoop.
You definitely needed that advantage.
Oh, lordy. Okay.
All right. So Shannon did roll a 1, a 5, and a 1. So with that advantage, that is a 6 plus that 1 from their dark. You said Perry has +1 dark. Thank you. And so you got a 7. So you just like barely held on. Let me get everyone else's scores before I go on.
Okie dokie.
Oh, I rolled bad.
Ooh,
Oh, I also
Yikes.
mucked up the roll, but that would still be 5
It's-
plus 1, so it'd still be a 6.
yeah.
I was also gazing into the abyss.
Okay.
So me next.
Sure.
I am also going to gaze into the abyss, because I am not really
Cool.
like at this point. At this point in the year, I'm not. I mean, he looks cute, fine, cool, but I am perfectly sure that something is amiss, and whenever I think that something is amiss, I want to know more about it before I start being intrigued.
Perfect.
So that would be 3d6.
Yes, and you get advantage. So roll 3d6, and we'll figure it out from there. I'm on the wrong character sheet.
Okay,
That's cool.
and my dark is +2.
Dope.
Good. That's good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to, even though I'm very not good at it, I'm going to attempt to keep my cool because I don't necessarily know all of my ghost powers yet, I think.
All right.
And also just to shake it up because everyone else has rolled with dark. My cold is -1, so this is going to go very, very badly for me.
Oh, great. Might as well
Yeah.
just get that worst roll out of the way
Go for
right at
it.
the top.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's 4 + 2 is 6, -1 is 5.
Fantastic. That's great. I'm so
Hooray!
glad.
Hey!
So glad that
Yeah.
I spelled fail wrong, but that's okay. No one can see my notes.
To say, I rolled Gaze into the Abyss because for Caden, I think it's not. It doesn't necessarily occur to him to be scared in that moment because just like, somebody's like locking eye contact. I'm not full blown projecting my autism onto my character, but also a little bit just like, yep, okay, somebody who's making prolonged eye contact, bit weird.
For Perry, they're curious about everything. They're gonna look for more information even if it's not wise. So
All right.
yeah.
Great. I'm just making notes of which one of you failed. It's fine. Don't worry
thanks
about
to August.
it. Thanks to August, I've got some shit to do on you all. That's great. And so what happens then is that like as he's moving back to take his seat, we're gonna go from most successful down to least successful. For a brief moment, ever as you're watching him move to go sit down, you feel like this brief tug on like on the string that you're like it's not a mechanical string, I should say. It's not actual string in the game mechanic sense, but you kind of like feel it in this way where it's like he had been reaching out and was like poking at to see like where your weakness might have been, and you confidently and easily just said, nay, not today, you strange handsome stranger.
Mhm.
And just kind of like brushed it off. But with that 10, the move says is that the abyss shows you lucid visions and you take +1 forward to addressing them. And you see for just the briefest of moments the scene of a beach at night in perfect stillness. There is a full moon overhead, and there is a wave just in the middle of crashing down upon the shore. And for Odo stands in front of you, like in front of the wave beneath the moon, and that is kind of like he's just grinning at you, and then that cuts out. And then from there, we move on to what was that? Perry was next, I believe, with
Yes.
the personal success.
Mhm.
Awesome. Here you are. So what you kind of feel for a brief moment is there is a twist and turn on your insides, things kind of like moving up and down and getting flipped around. And there is the taste of things turning to ash for just a moment, and the feeling of something being drained from beneath the tips of your fingers. And on your mixed success, the abyss shows you a confusing and alarming vision, but you get your answer nonetheless. And so in that, you see something kind of similar to whatever had seen. You see a beach and you see the full moon above you. And what you also see, where you don't quite see it, but you feel it. And it feels like a sense of home that you hadn't felt in a very, very long time. But it is also a sense of home that sends an intense shock of like fear through you.
Oh.
Now, with Caden's failed roll, you like as you're watching, it feels more like you not quite turned to stone or turned to porcelain, but your fingers stiffen and you fumble with whatever you were holding at the time, your pencil, your phone, or something like that, and it skitters away across the floor. And suddenly you're like very aware for the way that you fit into your chair, and just kind of like the extent and the limit of your body, and like where things move and how you fit into the context around them. But you also feel like removed from it, and so you can like feel the edges of yourself just frozen there in place. And finally, Tay, with your failed cool, you're very uncool. Oops, too far.
Go on.
You can feel the asphalt against your palms and against your cheek, and you hear the heavy hum of an engine just kind of like pulsing above you, and like it's just like the idling of an engine, and then eventually it kind of like fades and morphs into a steady heartbeat that then stutters to a stop.
Oh no, a flashback.
Yeah. So I think that might also hit your trauma where you are. Where you are.
Ooh, yes, let's have a look.
So your unresolved trauma, whenever something brings to mind your death, you choke up and gain the condition traumatized if you don't already have it. Whenever someone helps you resolve this condition, you both mark experience, but right now you're traumatized.
Okay, I also have the move projected blame. While I've got the condition traumatized, I'm going to act as though everyone else has the condition at fault for my death. So I'm going to be really mean to everyone else.
Yep.
For a little while.
And Caden, I know you failed. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
This will be a
okay.
surprise tool that comes in handy later.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Love this. Love to disassociate in class first thing in the morning.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. It's a great way to start the day for me here at 8 a.m. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
a
all
nice
8 a.m.
big
for your
bowl of
students too.
trauma.
Yep.
Mab had her trauma rose this morning and is ready to share.
I did not. I didn't have any milk for cereal.
Big-
So
So
sorry.
I know, me too. So in the end, Odo goes and sits down in front of Tay and just kind of like gives you another little smile and just like sits down, and class continues as normal. Don't worry about it. You guys don't have to spend the rest of your day vaguely traumatized.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me set up that morning for all of you. Thanks, August, for letting that go really well.
Just normal
Um,
high school things, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Thinking about the moon.
Thinking about the moon.
Disassociating, flashbacks.
Question.
Yes.
What phase is the moon in now?
Good question. It's a few days out from a full moon.
Huh.
Nice.
Just like in real life, where the full moon is going to be on the 2nd. That was actually unintentional, but that's the other point. I thought for a moment, like today. No. Yes, go ahead.
I also have a question. What is Odo wearing?
Oh God, I didn't think about what kind of clothes he would be wearing.
Yeah, what's his vibe?
Is he preppy? Is he like sports casual? Like
he is that person that looks cool without even having to try.
ugh.
The problem is, yeah, I know. I have yanked him from a project that a friend and I are working on, and in that, he's a very fancy rich boy, but he also has very expensive tastes. So I think he's like wearing something where it's just like it doesn't look like that it's like designer brand or anything like that, but it's like super casual but in that expensive way. And he just like holds himself with an ease and grace that is like no one from fucking SoCal walks like that. You know, it's like it's obviously that he's got something going on with him, and he's got some sort of like confidence that you're all not too sure where it comes from. You're like, does he think he's like royalty or something like that? Like he's carrying himself like he's very much like king of the world or whatever, but he's being humble enough in the classroom, and he's not like taking the attention away from anything more than his presence is. I would say he's probably also wearing colors that are like a deep red, sort of like wine red, and like a black slacks or something like that. I don't know.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
I take out my phone because like I use a basic notes app to be
Good.
like my
Your little black book.
yeah, that's like my personal book of shadows is there.
Good.
So
yeah.
that's like where I note all of my spells and stuff, and there's like an entire
Nice.
section where I have this like long like mind map of me like trying to figure out like random
Amazing.
shit about all of my classmates, and I just like write Odo's name and just put 5 question marks underneath it and
Good.
save.
Perfect.
During class, when they're supposed to be taking notes, Perry is sketching in the margins of their notebook, like the bits of the vision that they can remember, Odo's little face, things like that, just sketching away.
All right.
Tay
Mhm.
Tay is drawing a massive black hole
Good.
instead of taking any notes.
And also just kind of staring daggers into the back of his head, probably.
Yeah, well, she's staring daggers into her paper.
Okay.
Caden is systematically pulling threads out of a hole in the sleeve of his shirt, not paying any attention to what's going on. There is like a small pile of threads on the desk in front of him. He just like keeps pulling bits off, and
Aw.
flexing his hand periodically.
Oh,
Like you
buddy.
hear like a nervous like staccato of like sneakers squeaking against the tile floor as feet bounce.
All right. So you guys eventually do make it through the end of your class and the end of your day. I want to cut briefly to then it's the end of the day, so we've got Tay Tay and Perry hanging out in the art club. I did go ahead. The art teacher, her name is Mia Udagawa. Uses she, they pronouns. She's tall, gangly, has that stereotypical bi art teacher vibe with mousy hair pulled back and a ponytail and bright green eyes. And there's always just some kind of like cool indie rock like on playing on the classroom. Also, it's SoCal. Everyone has a band. So that's a very like San Diego SoCal thing, is that everyone has a band. So it's probably, you know, someone that she knows from like one of her circles or something like that. But let's go ahead and get a scene of you two in your art classroom, or your art club. It's after school. It's not class.
Yeah.
Mhm. Do we call the teacher Mia or?
Oh, she will definitely insist you call her
Mrs.?
Mia. Mia. Do not don't. She's like that cool art teacher, you know.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
is-
say typical art teacher vibes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, typical art teacher vibes. You know, it's the same way that Perry is that stereotypical like art student. Mia is that stereotypical art teacher.
Mhm.
And so yeah, she's got that whole look down.
Okay. Okay.
Could this be elections for officers for the art club?
Mhm, mhm.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I'm having
Please.
flashbacks right now.
Oh dear. Oh dear. All right.
Never has there been more drama.
Okay, so in that case, how many other people are in the club with us?
Someone roll me a d20
Okay.
because I can't maneuver my screens fast enough.
Helen, do you want to?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's
4.
11 other kids. Oh,
No,
because you rolled
4.
3d6. Nope, 4. Okay, I was looking at the 11 that you rolled on your 3d6. I'm like, cool, 11. There are 4 other students in your art club.
Oh, wow. Big mood. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So there's 6 of us. How many positions? Is it president, social secretary, treasurer?
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
There could be someone who's like historian, and that just means they're allowed to have their camera out in class. You know, they're the photography
Archivist.
inclined. And so there's going to be like also doubling up with the yearbook committee. So, you know, that sort of vibe.
Mm.
Okay.
But that's kind of like an unofficial position, and that kid just has their camera all the time anyway. So yeah, fight. Who's going to be president? Give me your pitches. What are your speeches? How does this go? I actually don't know how this goes.
I don't either.
See, when I became like when I was doing vice president for band, it was pretty much here's all the names of the students that have been nominated for the position, and then everyone just voted because they've already known us for like, you know, some amount of time. And so I was second most popular kid in band, apparently. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what
Maybe the teacher should be trying to be in charge. And then we end up interrupting her.
I mean, she would also kind of be like, all right, kids, this is the democratic process. Let's get started. We all know how well it goes. doesn't matter if you all live in a democracy or not. We all know how well it goes. So I mean, it could just be then, because I don't know if you guys just want to roll for it.
What would we roll?
Plus cool for how cool you are.
All right, you know what? Tay-Tay's gonna get up and she's gonna say, right, I think I should be president because clearly none of you can organize your way out of a paper bag. Here is my organizer, and she brings out her diary that's got like colored tabs and like calendars.
Did you get a new diary after your other one was stolen?
Oh yeah, immediately. Although I'm using diary in this sense to mean like organizer, like planner.
Right. Okay.
And then she's gonna get out her phone and start reading out. Right, so I've got an alarm at 8 o'clock to get up. I've got an alarm at 8:10 to do my hair.
I love
I've got an alarm at 8:30.
I love her.
Here's why you should vote for me for club president.
And then she says, so in conclusion, I can make sure everything gets done. Thanks. And sits down.
Perry gets up.
Like, Perry, how are you going to follow that?
Okay. Can I use? There's 4 people in this club.
Yeah.
Would it be better for me to use something on? I don't have anything that can really work on all of them, but I could.
Who do you think's the swing vote?
Okay. There's one art guy, like, who's kind of a little nerdy, maybe.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
And Perry knows, like, Perry knows that he's got the eye on them, right? So
Natch.
Right, Natch. So I will roll to. I'll use the wild hunt.
Okay.
Now, how often can we use these moves? Just any damn time, or what?
Anytime.
Any damn time.
Yeah. When you draw upon your most feral manner, echoing the lithe movements of a cat or the veracity of a wolf, add 1 to your roll to turn someone on.
All right.
So I'm gonna roll to turn. What is his name?
His name is going to be Lewis Lovell.
Okay. All right. So turn someone on. I roll with hot.
You should just be able to click on the dice next to hot on your character sheet, and then you have the option, I think, for bonus amounts to it.
Submit. Add 1. Sorry. Whoop.
Wow. Yeah.
Damn.
What does this look like?
Whoa.
Because, like, what are you channeling? Are you channeling the lithe movements of a cat, or somehow the veracity of a wolf?
Probably going with cat, just very laid back, where Tay-Tay was very on the ball and organized. Perry is channeling the the laid back art vibe. Like, we're not here to run this like a business. We're here to learn about art, to really feel our art in our souls, and to
Sorry. Keep going.
To bring our souls into this school setting, to lighten up this dark experience with our creativity and spontaneity. That's what we're here for, not alarms and budgets and, like, why do we even need to bother with that? Right? Just
because we want to get our projects done and get into a good college.
This is a place to relax and get in touch with our inner beings, not some place to do math. If we wanted to do math, we'd be in the algebra club, right?
Telling the time isn't math.
Mia, I didn't realize that this was going to be a debate. I just thought we were going to get up and talk. And
Who's going to run the club? Of course, it's going to be a debate.
Is it time to vote now?
Yeah, come on,
vote.
let's vote.
Yeah. Okay. You got
That's
the
so great.
you got Lewis going like, yeah. Yeah, let's
On the
vote.
way back to the seat, like Perry winks at him.
I'm gonna have you each of me just roll me 2d6 straight. We'll see who wins.
Okay.
Well,
2d6 gaily.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
Oh no!
Oh, no, it's a tie.
It's a dead tie as well.
We've got 10.
Does Mia make us both be president?
Yeah.
Yes.
She
Fuck
puts
yes.
you in the "this is your getting along" shirt, and it's the club presidency. And it's not
Great.
even that you both rolled 10; it's that you both rolled a 6 and a 4.
Yeah.
So that's great. Love that for both of you. No
Mhm.
pressure. So we'll leave you guys on your inner presidency struggles, and cut over to Ever. You're just kind of chilling where you normally do at the end of school before heading home, and across like the quad or whatever it is, you spot Odo, and he seems to be getting familiar, but not in like a bound chicka wow wow getting familiar sense, but like being very like friendly and chatting. But he is talking with Lila, Carrie, and Marius, who is also there. Surprise! Marius Favors is there. That's only really for the listeners and Jade.
Thank
And
you.
I did ask August for their permission, and and so those three do kind of stick together. And it's weird because Carrie seems to be this other sort of like popular mean girl. You got Lila, who's a popular mean girl, and then you have Marius, who's neither of those things. And
Drag them.
hmm.
tell me tell me I'm wrong, August.
Marius is
They're-
a bitch.
Yes, they're mean, but they're also not that level. They're not like Carrie, high school Carrie level of mean girl. High school Carrie is a different level of mean girl than she is in the other games. But also you wouldn't consider them like the same sort of popular in that way. But they do actually they are very like intelligent, very bookish. And so in that respect, they do hang out with Carrie a lot, who's also very intelligent. And so they seem to have that holier than thou, we're smarter than you, peon sort of expression on their face at all times. And but they're also hanging out with Lila and Odo. And there is a moment they just seem to be talking, and Lila pauses in the middle of the conversation, and she stops and she turns and she spots you watching them across the way, and then resumes the conversation in kind of like a rush. And after that moment, Carrie just kind of like rolls her eyes at something, and she and Marius leave, and Lila's just kind of like standing there after the two of them leave and seems to be shutting out Odo for whatever he's trying to say. And eventually he shrugs and he turns and leaves also. What do you do?
Before he leaves,
Mhm.
I want to do one thing in particular, one
Yeah.
very silly thing, which
yeah.
is
Bring it on. It's high school. It's high
like
school game.
because I'm just sitting there. Like my habit is always to sit outside school for like an hour and just read.
Yeah.
And I'm reading something that I'm not supposed to be reading. Like I'm reading like Lady Chatterley's Lover, something like that. Something I'm not even supposed to be in the library.
Right.
And like before he leaves, around the time that Lila starts getting cold to Odo, I just want to hold his eye contact,
Mhm.
like just for a moment,
Mhm.
and turn him on.
Okay. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rolling hot, which is like not good. So that's
You can just hit your little. Oh, there you are.
Hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Nice.
What does that look like?
Um,
You just make eyes, raise your eyebrows in a suggestive fashion.
I just like raise my eyebrow. I like tap the spine of the book suggestively. Then I just go back to reading. Like I have not noticed Lila was there at all.
Yeah, like Lila makes eye contact with you. You just ignore her and you make eyes at Odo. And it's great.
Yeah.
Tasty. Love it.
So
Cool.
so
Uh,
at
yeah.
a how does this work again?
On a
On a 10 up, I gain a string on them and they choose a reaction from below. Which is I give myself to you, I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward.
In that case, I think because there's then he gives you kind of like this look in response, which is slightly caught off guard for a moment, and then eyebrows raised appreciatively, and then like a slow and like casual smile comes over his face, and it's kind of like it's a promise for we'll discuss this later, but I think you know, winky face.
Nice.
Nice. Love to see it. So you can add, you have one string on Odo.
Spell his name for me, please.
Odo.
Okay.
Odo. Don't worry about his last name. It's long and French and pretentious. It means raspberry or something. La framboise.
I swear Odo is from Star Trek.
Yeah,
There was an Odo in DS9.
Ooh! Played by
not
Rene
on purpose.
Auberjonois.
The one that slept in a
Definitely not
bucket.
on purpose.
I don't. It could have been. I didn't do it on purpose to make you all think of Star Trek. My friend might have named him that because of Star Trek, though. And then, Caden, what do you do at the end of the day? Are you like watching this happen? Are you like trying to what's happening with you, my sweet child that I have traumatized?
You did do that to me. Thanks for that.
Mhm.
It's good. It's good. I feel like he just sort of lingers around on purposes, maybe like, oh, whatever after school sports is on that day, he's like hanging out on the bleachers watching whatever that might be, whether it's football practice or cheer practice or whatever. Whether the track meet, a lot of going up. I'm going to rapidly reveal my lack of knowledge about sports.
Sports ball
and sports ball. But yes, just like hanging out on the bleachers, and probably has like a notebook and a textbook next to him to make it, in a paltry attempt to make it look like he's doing work.
Mm-hmm.
He is just people watching.
Okay. I love him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I'm gonna do. No, I'm actually not.
No, you're not.
No.
I have to pretend that I am for just a moment, and I can't even keep a straight face through the entirety of that. And so there is going to be, so like that evening, you guys are all at home and you're doing whatever you do at home, and a massive like text message goes out from an unknown number to all of you. And what the text message says is that there's going to be a beach party. And guess what, Perry, since you had asked me about it, it's going to be on the full moon. Fantastic, right?
Cool.
As I put in my notes, oh, that couldn't mean anything! Exclamation point. And so it is just, it just kind of goes out to all of you. You guys don't know whose phone number it is, so it's not even that like popular girl in school over there, you know, like Lila or Carrie have sent it out. It's unknown. So that's something.
So we can see the number?
You can see the number. It's not like fancy encrypted technology or anything like that.
So Perry just responds, but who is this though? With though spelled THO.
Okay, good. Of course, yeah, and couldn't be any other way. And the text comes back and just says, "A friend from class."
A likely story.
And defo not a stalker.
Yeah.
No, because no, I'm just kidding.
On getting this, Caden would like either screen cap it. I don't know if we're now with like contemporary smartphone. Just like does a screen cap and sends it to Eva and to Taylor separately, just like, did you get this message as well? It's not a group message. Like
I was thinking for a brief moment, I was just like, oh my god, are they in a group chat? That would be so weird.
No.
That would be big weird. Whenever gets the message, they just reply with a thumbs up emoji and a roll eyes emoji.
So are we going? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then the second message is after, is that too many question marks?
Oh, baby.
And I reply, I'll come if you need me to bring any of this stuff, but other than that, this is not my scene.
I mean, I'll go.
Sad face emoji. Back to Eva.
Let's just go and see if it's cool. And then we can always like leave if it's not.
Are you guys in a group chat now?
Can we be in a group chat? Wait a minute.
I would love to know why you're all in a group chat. I mean, like,
I was gonna
we're
say,
going to
Tay-Tay's not gonna
assume
be in anyone's.
that
Okay.
Tay-Tay has evolved to pass the need for a group chat.
I
I
do
was
like
gonna
the thought that Caden actually does like all of these people, so might have
Yeah.
sent this in a group message. So everyone is in this particular. I've started a new group message in WhatsApp. Just like
Okay.
I love this child.
Yeah.
so you guys can see that who else is included in the group message as well, because that's just funny too.
More roll eyes emoji.
Okay.
Oh, it's Tay-Tay.
No, absolutely no fucking response from Tay-Tay.
Co-prez. Sup?
In the group chat, Cobra.
Wow.
Caden goes, you guys both got art club president? Happy face.
Yeah. Tay-Tay just said. Tay-Tay says K. Which, as we all know, is the biggest burn.
Does she then leave the group message?
Oh no.
No, she doesn't leave it.
Amazing.
I mean, sure.
I just reply, if anyone needs any help altering their mental state, I'll be around.
I mean, sure.
I mean, sure. Eloquent as always, Perry.
Meanwhile, Perry continues to chat with the person who sent the invitation. Are you cute though?
Wow.
Cute though.
Yeah.
Put it in the Roll20 chat, Shannon, if you want, because then we can all see it and it'll pop up on the Roll20 feed, on the live feed as well.
Okay. I can't. Well, our little Delio's in the way. Yeah, there we go. What do they say? Do they say anything?
They reply back with an LOL. That's it.
This is going to be the mystery of this game, isn't it? Who sent that message?
Who sent that message? So the next, I'm just gonna
girl.
put it.
No. God damn it, I should have done Gossip Girl meets Death Note. Oh. Missed opportunities.
So yeah, the next thing that they write is K Mysterio.
Sunglasses emoji.
But no eggplants.
No. I also have this feeling that oh yes, please, actually, if I can have Caden and Tate just in case you guys keep failing rolls or whatever, feel free to mark experience. You never know how it's gonna go. All right. So next day in class, as you guys are all coming in, sitting down, and getting ready to start your school day, as you do, Odo comes, takes a seat in front of Tay, and another brief smile that kind of gives everyone like a little bit of the same shock that they had the day before, but it's not nearly as bad. Like halfway through the class, Ever, you get a text from Lila, and I want to know, what do you have her name as in your phone?
Dat bitch. No.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Sorry.
Who, me?
Yeah. What do you have Lila's name as in your phone?
God. What do I think it says something like toothless has been, something like that.
Oh no.
Amazing.
Great. So you get a text message from Toothless Has Been, and
Nice.
Very good.
And
the burn.
it says, "Whatever you do, don't trust a word that he says."
Hmm.
And I reply, "That's rich." Full stop.
Ooh, a period and everything. You like just see her in person roll her eyes, but she doesn't say anything else.
And like while as that happens, because like I was just sitting down, I had no thoughts I had no presumptions at this moment, but as Lila has reintroduced this thought to my brain, I just try to catch a quick I just try to catch Uda's eye very quickly.
He seems to be busy trying to talk to Tay. She doesn't seem to be. I don't think she's taking it too well, is she?
I mean, Tay would have to answer that.
So like, yeah, he's like turned back around and he's got his elbow on Tay-Tay's desk and he's got his chin in his hand, and he just says, "You look like you were having a bit of an off day yesterday. Are you feeling better?"
Sorry, who's saying this?
Odo, to you. He sits in front of
Tay-Tay
you.
pushes his elbow off the desk.
Oh.
And says, "Fuck off."
Then in which case he'll kind of give like an amused little chuckle, and when he turns back around to sit front in his chair, that's when you can catch his eye, Ever, and he just gives you a charming little smile and a little finger wave.
I nod and I just continue reading the book that's in front of me.
You and your
Which is,
sorry,
still, which is still a book that I'm not supposed to have, but it's now like advanced astrophysics or some kind of shit like that. Like something that I'm actually struggling to make logical sense of. It's just in front of me.
As we all do. It's true.
Just so you know, in my head, Odo does look like the Star Trek character.
I'm sorry.
You know, that still works.
All of you. Yeah, okay.
It's fine though. I love it.
Yeah. Sure. You know what? We'll roll with it. Just
Yes.
younger. Yeah. He does have a nice defined nose like that. But otherwise. So hold on. Jade is typing something. But where did my note? Oh yeah. So Caden and Perry, you're just kind of watching this happen. It's a really weird interaction this morning. It's a weird energy in this classroom, just like it is in this group call. And
Perry is sketching him again,
Mhm.
but this time there's a full moon over, like just over his shoulder.
Mhm.
Are we still in class, or do I need to wait till end of class to do end of class things?
You may feel free to do whatever you want. Like I said, school is for fools. We're just here because it's
For
like,
drama.
definitely. Yeah, that's art club. We're doing art club, not drama club. And it is very much like Teen Wolf. They're only ever in class to talk to each other when they need to be
Right.
in class, and then otherwise they're not in class. So that is my touchstone here, is that you're in class just to make a little bit of, yes, drama. And so yeah, feel free to do after class things. Go for it.
Perry is going to write a little note at the bottom of it that just says, "Who are you?" And then let's see. Where's a place that kids eat lunch that's not the lunchroom? At my high school, we had
the
a place
quad?
that we called the Grassy Knoll.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were all learning about. It was the year that we had U.S. history.
That's not dark at all.
I imagine
Like
there
the-
are benches, right? There are
Yeah,
benches.
there's
and bits
benches
of
and
grass.
tables.
We established
Yeah.
the quad.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So like lunchtime and then whatever place. Grassy, we'll say Grassy Knoll. Why not?
There can be some grass there, I guess. It's Southern California. We don't have a lot.
You don't, and you
of
also
grass.
don't have knolls.
No, we don't.
Well, that place, like that little weird courtyard. So, and then like fold it up and just kind of slide it to him on the way out the door.
Okay. Then eventually when you come back from class, or you come back to class after lunch, it is there is a nice little origami flower with a piece of paper set on your desk, and it just says someone of interest, little wild one.
Good lord.
Ooh.
How'd this teenager get so smooth?
Uh,
He's talking like a 18th century vampire.
That's his secret. He's been 18 for 200 years.
they tuck the flower behind one ear, like wearing it in
Good.
their hair.
Good.
Yeah.
Good content.
Mm-hmm.
So what blah blah blah. Basically also random question before we move on to the next moon phase, as it was. No, do any of you guys use, I mean, in character, not you as individual people, I realize I have to specify this. Do any of you as characters use TikTok?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Hayden has an account but doesn't use it. Doesn't
All
post
right.
stuff, but definitely watches.
All right, cool.
Tay
Then,
does art videos
nice.
to like sad music.
Eva
Gary's
absolutely
always sending
hates
cat
it.
videos. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Brandon hates it. Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon. Ever hates
Yes.
Brandon also hates it.
Brandon thinks it's fine. Eva totally avoids it because they're fed up of like seeing all of their classmates just like either act like fools or just like throw themselves sexually at the camera instead of like doing something interesting. But every once
Like
in a while
throwing
they'll probably
themselves
find like
sexually
some
at the person in the flesh.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can we establish that Perry set up Caden's TikTok for
Yes.
him then?
Yes.
Like, the
And-
only reason he has a TikTok is because they were like, oh no, you have to.
You know,
It's
I
like-
need to send you these cat videos.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh.
And Perry does all the dance challenges too.
Of course.
Wow.
Oh wow, teenagers.
Oh, boy.
Then also to Tay, do you still follow Carrie on TikTok after you guys had your not quite friend breakup, because technically it was never spoken about again?
Oh yeah. The unspoken breakups that everyone
Mhm.
else knows about.
But pretends it didn't happen. Yeah. They just block that from their memory. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and now this is just how it's always been. Yeah, Tay probably does still follow, what's her name?
Carrie.
Kerry. I was like, Kylie? Yeah, she still follows her, but doesn't do anything about it. Just like, oh,
Oh, there
I don't know.
she's at it again. God damn it.
You know
Right.
how when there's someone that you don't like, but you want to like keep track of them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what she's
Yeah.
doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those spite follows.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
doing a spite follow.
So in which case you guys are going to be getting ready for the party. And
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you right now, Tay Tay and Caden, you don't have a choice. You just you feel compelled that you have to go. And Perry, the same thing kind of happens to you too. It's not as strong as like the compulsion that like Caden and Tay Tay feel,
Mhm.
in which that it does feel like a string is tugging on them to get them to go. Wink. And that you kind of like feel it like there's a little prickle at the back of your mind that's saying like, I think I should go. I definitely think that I need to go to this. What we're going to do real quick is that what I want from everyone is that I know for a fact that the moon will definitely mean something to each and one of your characters for one reason or another. What does the moon like? What would the moon like being a symbol of power for like magic, or in the case of Perry for like being a fae? Like, what sort of like power would the moon have over you, or something like that?
I think the ritual that brought Caden to life was done on a full moon.
Mhm.
And so I feel like on those nights he's most aware of like what his existence is. I think most of the time he could just like maybe even fool himself,
Mhm.
but like he can't shake that awareness of
Mhm.
what brought him to life on the full moon. So it probably isn't great for his mood.
No.
It's probably his equivalent of PMS, frankly. Because
All
just
right,
like
little-
I always feel really shitty on the full moon.
Yeah. Without the added benefit of being able to transform like a werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the worst of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the easy route and say that Tay Tay died on a full moon, and when she came
All
back
right.
as a ghost, she was lying on her back looking up at it.
Nice.
I think that Perry feels the most like their fae self during the full moon. They feel more like Paradon than they feel like Madison. And those memories are all a little bit closer to the surface.
Mhm.
It's a trickster time. It's a magic time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ever.
Ever like sees the moon as like a very large magical focus. Like
Mhm.
they're already like very like strongly attached to to full moons in particular as a symbol.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it's just like beautiful and natural and like a source of light in darkness. Because I was actually even gonna ask if it's a harvest moon or just like an ordinary full moon. Like how big is the
Ooh.
moon in the sky right now?
Oh, it's going to be full harvest moon, baby.
Mhm.
Yes, I love it a
Yeah.
lot. Because I was actually gonna say as well, that I am going to gaze into the abyss right now.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
I hate fucking parties. So I am already going into this like wondering like
Mhm.
whether something really terrible is going to happen. So
Mhm.
I'm just like trying to get a sense of how this party will go
All right.
for specifically for me, Perry, and Caden for no reason whatsoever.
Mhm. Of course. Ooh.
And that's a
nice.
10.
Ooh.
You are doing real well right now. I hope it all goes badly soon. And so what on a 10 up, you gaze the abyss shows you lucid visions and you take a +1 forward to addressing them. And so what does this like sort of like ritual for you look like when you sit down to gaze into the abyss, as it were? Like how does it work for you as like with your magic and so on?
Mm-hmm. My typical full moon ritual is that I will like draw a circle in my bedroom. I will light some candles. There are like specific scents that I love when I doing personal rituals at home. Lavender, some tree bark and stuff like that that I have around me. And I am just sitting in this circle with my eyes closed, waiting for the universe to show me something that I think that will be valuable at this moment.
All right. So yeah, like as you're like sort of like your body's relaxing and your mind is being cast out to look for that vision. And again, you find yourself on the beach with the full moon overhead. And it is, full harvest moon, as we said. So the light for you right now is like warm and yellow and like a nice buttery color. And but as you're standing there watching, the from the top down of the full moon, the color starts to drain from it, and the light turns from sepia to monochrome, and then it's like this sickly yellow light, that like pale yellow light that's cast over the rest of the beach that you stand on. And as the last of the color drains away, Odo is standing before you on the surf again, and he like stops and he looks at you, and there is a moment where you realize that it's like, this is not just a vision of him. You think it might actually be himself. And when he turns to look at you, there is a sharpness to his features that you're not used to seeing, and a darkness in his eyes, and he gives a wide toothy grin, and he says, "My little witch, things are about to get very interesting." And that's when the vision for you ends.
Ah.
Mm.
And so,
Mhm.
I open my phone and I go
Yeah.
back into my notes app and I add 3 more question marks.
maybe a what the fuck? And then, so right before you guys leave to get ready, their new TikTok's been posted by Kerrigan Kestrel. And so Tay and Perry, I guess, on the off chance that you see this, they it is a video of Carrie, and she is wearing all black, but her lips are a very nice, dark, rich red. And Marius is at her side, looking a little put upon, but also vaguely excited about something. I mean, they always look vaguely put upon. And she mentions that there is a large project coming to fruition finally, as they managed to get the last key to the puzzle that they had been waiting on, after someone wouldn't help them no matter how many times they asked. So get ready, everyone. And that's when you guys all notice that something a little funky is happening to the moon. So we're going to take a break real fast. And, well, Brian just stepped away, but Brian, come back. We're going to go on a break.
If
We
you
can't go on a
create,
break, Brian.
if you create a quick handout in Roll20 and then show to all players, it will pop up on the screen. You can just
I
be
am
right
going
back.
to move. Yeah, I have too many things open. Boom, boom, boom. What we're going to do is we're just going to go stare at this beautiful picture of the sunset. I think that worked. Did that work? My thing's covering it. No, it's still on the
It's-
student.
No,
why does
it's
that-
moved, but it's zoomed
Okay.
super out. Super in.
Jesus fucking Christ, Brian. This is why we can't have nice things.
Brian, you're never allowed to leave.
You can see the corner of a sunset. We'll be back in a
Okay.
few minutes.
BRB, friends.
At like 30. 35. 30 is like 2 minutes. And August just gave us another donation, so it's going to go great.
Yay.
Disadvantage.
Thank
goal
you.
for
Everyone gets-
everybody.
oh,
what is it
good.
this time?
Everyone gets a disadvantage. That's great. I'm
Oh,
glad.
no.
Thanks, August. All right, we'll see you
Okay.
guys all in a few minutes. Brian will put up an actual BRB thing when he gets back.
Okay.
Fantastic. I think that means we're also still going to be live, so everyone just mute yourself or just talk into the microphone. I'm
I'm
going to
gonna mute myself.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
for a
start-
minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Right back. Bye.
Hello.
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 I think we're not muted in the stream, but I think that's fine. We can just chit chat until Matt
Yeah.
is back. Just be aware. Be aware that the world can hear you. Hello, world.
Hello,
Hello,
world.
We are
We
back.
have returned.
I mean, I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, we've got GM permission to go smooch like crazy. So you know,
Yep.
party
Duly
time.
noted.
It's the little bit that I
Reminder,
can
if
give
you're just
you.
joining us. Yeah. Just a reminder before we get back into play that we are, as well as here having fun being angsty teens, we are raising money for Rosehip Medic Group in Portland, supporting the good work that they're doing over there. And if you send us a screenshot of your donations, you can give advantage or disadvantage. There's also a whole bunch of incentives that we've done with writing and stuff like that that are available somewhere that we'll maybe find for you. But, you know, come mess with us here. Make our lives more interesting.
Mhm.
For a good cause.
Someone please cancel out August giving us all a disadvantage on
No.
the next roll.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Oh
Nope.
no.
Because you're going to get all
Why?
disadvantage on this roll, and then if you guys donate to give them advantage, that'll be their next roll. Hate to break
no.
it to you, but I need you all to roll this next one at disadvantage because it's going to be great.
Sad face.
Okay.
I cannot get rid of that mysterious note on.
We're back. I'm back.
It's okay. We're fine. We're all fine here.
No, it's cool. Thank you for doing this
No.
for me.
Please
You
close
did
that
not
mysterious
fucking
note.
Yeah, close the mysterious note that you have up. Because we're back. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
All right, everyone. So you are all currently at Disneyland enjoying yourselves. How is it? No, I'm just kidding. You're not. You're going to go to the beach and it's going to suck. Where was I on my notes? Here we are. So what happens is that you guys all roll up to the beach and things immediately feel wrong and off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you all roll keep your cool with disadvantage. Thank you, August.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I'm so glad that the
that's-
2 times I made you guys roll, August was prepared for it.
Right.
Wow.
That's
Hold.
4
Okay.
minus
Right on.
1. So I got a 3.
Well, mark
Right.
experience.
What are
You
we
know?
rolling here?
Lovely.
Keep your cool.
Okay.
So you're rolling with cold.
Roll with
Mhm.
cold. Boop. And then I have a -1. Oh, wait, no. Okay. All right. Boop.
Just go ahead and yeah. Well, you're supposed to roll at disadvantage.
Okay. What do I need? Somebody tell me what to do.
Just roll 3d6 in chat and take
Yeah.
the two lower ones, and then
Okay.
add whatever you're cold.
I have a
Stat is-
-1 to cold.
Good. That's great. Yep.
Great.
I love to see it. Good.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. No.
Holy shit!
Yikes.
So mine would be. Oh no, that would be a 5 minus 1. So that's a 4 for me.
Okay.
That's
Big
a
yikes.
2 for me.
For everyone.
Oof, literally
Yeah,
got a
good.
1.
Great.
Wow.
No
Not
one.
cool at all.
So I'm
Everyone
gonna
got
go ahead and take an
experience.
experience.
Yeah, everyone mark experience. This is great.
Uh-huh.
August,
wait.
you did this.
Thanks, August. I love to have everyone come into a tense situation and immediately lose their shit. So, when you keep your cool and act despite fear, name what you're afraid of and roll with cold. 10 plus? No. 7 to 9? Nope. That means you guys are all going to take the condition terrified. And all of those like good feels that you had about the moon, they're all gone now. So like Caden, this is your worst possible memory of like, hey, your ritual happened on a full moon, and now it just definitely feels like you're kind of like Pinocchioing up in this, where it's just like you definitely feel now like not necessarily a wooden body because you were a doll instead, like was it plastic or a porcelain doll?
Like one of the ones with porcelain head and hands,
Okay.
but with like a soft body.
Yeah. And so you can like you're feeling that, and it's definitely like you're definitely feeling all of those years of memories that you don't have, and it's feeling like there is like this terrible sense of like at any moment it just could be undone again, and the moon giveth and the moon taketh away. Ever your moon, the large magical focus, it now just feels like a void, and it is no longer a source of light and darkness. That is the moon is like this sickly silver pale color instead of the normal good feel of harvest, the yellow harvest moon. And everything just feels thin and washed out. And Perry, you surprisingly, it's not that you feel freer or better, it's that you feel more wild, and you feel more like unrestrained than you have in such a long time, but your human body feels so small and so like I want to like scratch it all off. And Tay, you died on a full moon. Like there's not much else to say. You are now traumatized and terrified. This is not going well for you. Because I think your trauma still kind of is lingering. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. I mean, in Monsterhearts, you don't lose a condition unless someone helps you
Exactly.
resolve it. And no one has helped me because I am lashing out at everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. And so like when you like look up, it is like just like this big pale uncaring face staring back down at you, and it just reminds you so much of that night. And it's not just the moon. As you guys are all standing on the beach, the waves were crashing, and they're frozen now, and it is like they are all frozen mid wave, I guess. Like the surf is just starting to like roll up onto the shore, the wave is cresting over, and like the salt spray has just kind of like sparkled up into the air, but it's all like frozen, it's all like picture perfect still. And on the beach, you guys see Odo looking resplendent and quite pleased with himself. And you also see, I mean, there's like other students there because you guys weren't the only ones invited to the party, I promise. But they're all just kind of like frozen in place in like a little tableau. I'm sorry, I didn't even let you guys really enjoy the party. It was just like, we're just going to jump straight to the chase. I hate to break it to you. Maybe afterwards, if you solve the moon puzzle, you can enjoy the party or go home and sleep.
Okay.
The moon puzzle.
You solved my moon puzzle. No, you haven't yet. And Carrie and Marius are both there, looking decidedly angry and frustrated. Like in my notes, I say like, "What the fuck?" But his their Odo's attention is on the four of you. So, hey, what's shaking? How you guys all doing? You're all terrified. Give me some sweet terror responses.
So I already know, like I have a vague sense of how I'm responding, because in the immediate terror of seeing like I'm going to say that I as a result of my vision, I decided, you know what? some shit is gonna go down, and I'm going to be as prepared as someone who should not be prepared for shit should be. So I came with so I came with like a small knapsack, and all it has is drugs and a knife. Um,
That
That's
is a
all
whole
you
mood.
need.
You know, sometimes that's all you need.
and I came in my like my Sunday black. Um, and my immediate intent before I got here was, um, Odo likes me. I'm gonna milk that for all it's worth and find out what the hell is going on. Um, and the moment that I got here and got terrified, I was like, yeah, this has to be Odo. I might as well try to muster something at this point. So I'm still like visibly trying to get his attention. So like when he is focusing on us, I go, we should talk, shouldn't we?
Should we? What do we have to talk about?
I don't know. I got the impression that you had something to share earlier.
Well, I think the question more is, what do you need, and what can I give to you?
And I'm thinking about this, and like I'm like gazing directly into his eyes at this point.
They are
Um,
very stormy gray that match the ocean perfectly right now.
Jesus. And I say, what if I just need more of you?
Ooh.
You haven't even had to start. You might want to trying to think. What is the best sexy way to say this?
Like
Oh,
as he's pausing on that note, I say maybe we should fix that.
I think you might find that it's biting off more than you can chew. Finish the portion you have first.
God.
Things like this must be done slowly, little witch.
Are you sure it's even that big?
Um,
Uh,
and I
Harry voice, I see why he didn't send the eggplant emoji now.
and I step forward and go, maybe if I take my time, I can handle it. And while I'm still like looking right in his eyes, I am immediately going to cast a hex
Good.
Fuck yeah.
because
Good,
I'm
that
a
makes
ring of lies.
Yes. Please.
So to cast a hex, I am supposed to roll with Doc. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that, but I'm gonna take one forward from one of the two visions that I had. So that's gonna
Sure
be plus
did.
1.
Good.
Nice.
That's plus 3 for you total, right? Because your dark is 2.
Yes.
Godspeed.
And add that other modifier and submit.
Beautiful. Ooh. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what does that look like? Because that is a wonderfully strong success for you.
So, like, as I look into Odo's eyes, I am whispering all kinds of incantations under my breath, like so deeply that you can just hear that sounds are coming out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking like right into his eyes, and as I'm speaking, there's this kind of like glow,
Mm-hmm.
this like brief glimmer of a halo that moves from my lips to his lips and then fades away.
Beautiful. Which of the hexes did you use?
Ring of lies. Whenever the
Fan-
person attempts to lie, they hear a piercing ringing noise. Big lies will often make their knees buckle and disorient them. Severe lies will cause harm or even brain damage.
Ooh.
So yeah, as that happens, as you guys are, we'll get to all of your reactions in just a moment. As that happens, and the little the shimmer of light hits his lips, and you see like his entire countenance change, and
Ooh.
it's not so much. And Perry, you pick up on this easily, but you don't know why. There is a very faint but strong, faint but strong. That was great. There is a very pointed pulse of energy that comes from him, and then like he begins to like shift and change. And ever that vision that you saw of him the second time with the sharpened features and those like the coal black eyes, like completely black, and his outfit begins to change and morph a little bit as well, because it's not so much that he can speak lies, because he can't, but his entire vision, his entire countenance is a lie. And Perry, when you see this new vision of him, it is like you have this feeling of wild energy just like radiating off of him. And again, it feels like home, but again, it feels like something that you are absolutely terrified of, and the way that you look upon an awesome power and your own knees quake. And so when the spell finishes, Odo kind of like pulls smartly at like the lapels of his jacket, and because he is wearing now a fucking jacket with lapels because he's a fancy ass, and straightens his posture and seems to like shake off the rest of whatever illusion had been covering him. And he looks at you a little perturbed, and he just says, well, that escalated a lot quicker than it really should have. But the rest of you, how are you all feeling right now? Aside from terrified or extremely terrified.
Odo is standing next to Kerry, right?
Yes.
Tay is going to launch herself at Kerry and attempt to lash out physically at her.
Okay.
Because,
yeah,
because that's what she does.
Yeah, that's who she is now.
Yes.
Please, I guess I think that would be like roll plus volatile.
Yes, it's a volatile, which I have +1 in.
Lash out physically. There you are.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, yes. That's
Good.
6 and a 6 +1, so that's 13.
Ooh, boy.
Good.
Lay the smack down.
Yeah. So lash
a
out
summer of
physically.
resentment.
Yes. Really, yeah. On a 10 up, you deal them harm and they choke up momentarily before they can react. So what is this? Yeah. She deserves it. What does this look like? You like throw yourself at her mean girl cat fight style, or like you're gonna like throw a punch and you're ready to take her own tooth for a sympathetic token that you can't use but want anyway.
I like to think that one of the moves I took was Limitless, where I can walk through walls and fly. So I think that's not something I've quite discovered yet, but my feet do leave the ground at one point, and I basically just rugby tackle her to the floor.
You like torpedo yourself at her.
Yeah.
Good content.
Yep.
Yeah, so she'll like struggle against you for a moment, and there's definitely like a yelp startled out of her. And then you're just like shoving her down into the wet sand of the surf. And luckily for her, the waves aren't coming in, so neither of you are gonna drown. But
No.
you're like, oh, I really wish I could have.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Taylor is screaming incoherently.
Yeah. That's valid. Sometimes
it's
you
always
have unresolved trauma. Yeah. Sometimes you always just want to have a scream. Sometimes you just have some unresolved trauma. Literally. Caden, Perry, how are you feeling? How does this make you feel?
Go, Caden, go.
Go, Caden, go. Go, Caden, go.
I'm looking at the moves, both mine and the general ones, none of which help me right now.
Are you sure you don't want to lash out physically at someone?
Well,
You have a decent volatile.
I do have a decent volatile. I also have the move, actually, a blank canvas. When you take an action that embodies one of your conditions, allow that condition to alter your sense of self, cross it off, and add +1 to the roll. So actually, what I'm going to do is I am going to burn. You can tell what games I play. I'm going to burn that condition and get rid of that. And I am going to run up to Odo and try to punch him and literally just like, what the fuck have you done? Why do I feel like this? What are you doing?
Yeah, because also your darkest self, your body is a prison. You don't belong inside of it. You need to put it into harm's way and make it suffer, just like it's made you suffer. There's got to be some way to cut yourself out of it. You need to meet your makers and hold them accountable for what they've done to you. To escape your darkest self, you must come to see how someone else feels more trapped than you do. So I think that's also a little triggered for you.
Yeah, like I haven't like fully gone into darkest self mode, but I've got this uncomfortable awareness of that I feel like I could stop being what I am right now at any given time. And there's something really interesting about somebody that whose hands used to be made out of porcelain, like punching somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I hope this goes well for you.
Yeah, me too. So that's rolling
+3.
volatile. Punch out
Punch.
dude. Punch out a dude.
Punch.
+1.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Beautiful. So you succeed very well. And so you like run at them and he like starts to turn towards you like he has something that he wants to say. You don't give him the chance. And you immediately just like clock him right in the kisser. But
yeah, right in the nose. I'm trying to break his nose.
Okay, good. Yeah, you know what? You do him harm. So you break his nose and he like stumbles back and like clutches at his face and he says something in like a language that you don't recognize, but it feels old and powerful. And he like, oh fuck, children these days. And like wipes his hands off on his coat and just like glares at you guys. And he just says, is this how everyone reacts to a little offering of power?
So go ahead. Sorry. Jade, were you going to say something?
No, you're good, Carrot, please.
Okay. Did anything change about him besides his clothes? What else did we notice about him?
His physical appearance did change for everyone. So it wasn't just you. You're the one who is getting this other vibe from him. And you're the one who's thinking that's like, there is something about him that is a little familiar, but a lot of terrifying. And but like, yeah, his features look more like angled and pointed, and his eyes are now like completely black instead of just like a dark and stormy gray. And his outfit now looks fancy as fuck.
Okay, so what Perry is going to try to do is Perry's going to try to turn him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Using the wild hunt. So they're gonna, oh gosh, how do I do this? There's like active mayhem going on.
Yeah.
How do you turn somebody on who just got punched in the face, but it's all I've got?
You get up in their face, you like clean it off seductively. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, Perry's gonna sashay over with the whole lithe cat vibe going on and just kind of insert themselves between Caden and Odo and say, wait, We can talk about this. Are we kindred? You feel familiar. So
I like how you get low up into the mic when you say that.
I'm sorry. That's my
It's good. No,
it's my sexy phone voice. Okay.
please
So
roll.
I'm gonna roll plus hot. And I get a +1.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Boop.
Wow, look at you guys. Someone's got to come in here and give him more disadvantage. Just kidding.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
and I get a string on him too.
Yes.
I get a
Uh-huh.
string. Cool.
Yep.
So
Yeah, Ever's here like waving their string, going like, yeah. Yeah, remember that you guys do have those.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he respond?
What I think happens is that you start to like, were you like reaching up to like wipe his nose, or what were you doing again? Like
I
the
was
exact
just
movement.
parting them a little bit, and maybe I
Mhm.
cupped the side of his cheek with one hand.
So you like reach up to do that, and he catches onto your wrist, and there is like a little, like a small little shock that goes through your skin when he does that. But then he like gently takes your hand and lowers it from his face, and he says, "Little one, try not to presume above your station. But as your king, I do appreciate the familiarity that you offer." And
My king?
King
he is
echoes Caden, who's like right there.
And
Ooh.
you get like this little, like a little flash and a prickle. And he's Oberon, King of the Fairies. Just here to do some kingly shenanigans, cause some shit. You are like, and he then instead mirrors the movement that you were doing and puts his hand to your face, and he just says, "We are indeed kindred, and if you would like, I can free you from this body that you seem to be trapped in, and we can wreak a little havoc together."
Does this mean I can go home?
I would consider your debt paid.
But what is the price?
And at this, he looks briefly at Ever, and then looks back at you and just says, "Just a little chaos."
Could you define the chaos, sir?
Do the chaos that you feel in your heart. It's like he just says just a little chaos, and you're just kind of like, what? But like in which case it is extremely like the feel of, I know you're not technically yet belong to a jury of fae, but it is like the feeling of that trickster energy, and that just the need to just like cut loose is the technical term in the other game. And it's just like the need to be able to just sow a little discord, just a little, to make things just a little unsettling and disruptive for everyone else. Doesn't have to be pure damage, just a little uncertainty, because you thrive on that uncertainty, and you thrive on that chaos.
It's very tempting, my king. There are those here that I owe a debt. Would they be spared?
You would ask me of a boon.
I am informing you of obligations.
And I immediately interject because I know that they're referring to me.
Yeah.
I go, I don't want to be spared. I want to join in.
Ever's like, orgy, and then I'll kill you. Yeah. How? Okay, so we'll cut away from that
Mhm.
tense little moment. To where Tay Tay is currently brawling with Carrie on the ground. How's that going for you, Tay Tay?
Do I need to roll about for that, or
No, I mean you successfully have like I know it's like they choke up a little bit, but you're also kind of like maybe choking her a little bit and not in a fun way. But I think like eventually she does like get you pushed away from her and like scrambles out of the way. But
well, Tina's gonna pursue
yeah.
her, and she's gonna be yelling like, you fucking left me. I disappeared and no one ever messaged me, and now you've taken all my friends, and maybe you never were my friends, and I don't want you. I'm gonna fucking, and she like just loses it.
Okay. As you start to launch yourself at Carrie again, you suddenly feel your body like seize up. And you like freeze in place, and there is that tug in your chest again, and when you look down there is actually a small little golden gossamer string that pulls out of it, and you look over and Odo has the other end wrapped around one of his fingers, and he gives it a tug and just says, you will leave her alone. And in which case, he's going to be trying to use that string on you. You'll get an experience point for doing what he wants, which we'll also keep in mind that it's only going to be a one shot, but you're very close to leveling up.
Yeah.
And yeah, and just says like, so he'll offer you a point of experience, or I will, as the GM, will offer you a point of experience for just like backing off and refusing to interact with her. He just says like, ignore her as she ignored you.
Yep. Tay turns away from Carrie and launches herself at Odo instead.
Please,
Okay.
please roll me volatile.
Hooray! That's an 8.
Good. All right. So on a 7 to 9, you harm them, but choose one. They learn something about your true nature and gain a string on you, and the MC decides how bad the harm turns out, or you become your darkest self.
Ooh,
For your darkest self is you become invisible, unnoticeable. No one can see you, feel you, or hear your voice. You can still affect inanimate objects, but this is your only avenue of communication. You escape your darkest self when someone acknowledges your presence and demonstrates how much they want you around.
I would like to enter my darkest self because it's a one shot.
Beautiful. So you launch yourself at Odo, and you manage to land a hit.
Just fade into invisibility as I get close.
Basically, yeah. I mean, yes. I won't take away the fact that you did land that hit, but it's like it's a spiritual blow. As your ghostly self does punch him, and you do see him react to that. But the rest of you watch Tay Tay just like be like fling Carrie aside, just be like, all right, fine, bitch, I'll leave her alone. You're next on my shit list. And then suddenly, Tay Tay, you find yourself on the ocean, like in the ocean, all by yourself. Just like on the beach. Everyone else is gone. And you can see their footprints in the sand from where they had moved. But you're currently just by yourself. And everyone else, she just disappeared. She just like faded as she went, and it just kind of like dispersed into a little glimmery sparkle of moonlight or something poetic like that. Caden, my sweet, sweet child, how you feeling?
Yeah. Right. So my date mate is in between me and this pretentious looking motherfucker with really good bone structure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My good friend is up here just like, yeah, nah, I'm down for power. And my other good friend just disappeared.
Yeah. You're having a time of it, aren't you?
Yeah, a part of my build is that I am what's that good wording on the sheet why I picked the stat line that I did? Erratic misfit. There we go. So I am going to. How tall is Perry? Shannon, like how big are they?
Perry is slender and about 5'4".
Okay. So I feel like are they wearing some of their trademark overalls right now?
Yes.
Okay. So really quite pissed off. Caden sort of reaches for the back of Perry's overalls
Oh
and
no.
pulls them back away from Odo. Actually, yeah, no, they're not thinking about that. And sort of like pulls them back so they go into Eva, and then literally gets up in Odo's face, just like, "What did you do to Taylor?" And
I
then just like shoves him or tries to.
tries to. He'll like rock back with like the intent and the force of your shove, and then just says, I just removed a current distraction from the playing field.
She's a person.
Was a person.
I'm punching him again.
Okay.
Yay! Oh no. Ah.
I have no pluses this time.
You have, well, you're +2. Your usual
Yeah,
volatile.
yeah.
Well,
so
there it is.
you hear his nose crunch as my fist collides with it.
Good. Yeah.
In the
This,
exact same spot again.
oh, so
and the
yeah, this
nose
time there is no graceful recovery for him. Um, and he does like, he like stumbles like fully back this time. And he just says, all right, once could catch me by surprise. 2, you are a lot stronger than I thought you were. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna burn that string he has on you. And he is, let's see. I think he's gonna try to then oh, do I want a condition or do I want to ambush you with a reaction?
Ooh, that sounds such fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Because it's like, could inflict
got a
harm.
good-
That's never fun.
If you've got a good condition, go for it. Because like the hollow is all about other people's perceptions of you.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just like the scene itself had already been frozen, and then it kind of like closes down into a little black box around you. And it's like, you know, in the manga version of this, it's the cutaway panel where it's just like all black and you have like that surprised face type of thing as there's a thought bubble over your head. And it's just your like your own voice telling you that like it's like, you know, just basically is saying like, no one would notice, no one would know, it's only been 6 months, you know, what if I just turn around and walk back? What if I just full moon, full cycle, just let it go?
Upsetting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Forgettable or disposable.
Can Perry pull a string
Yes,
on Odo?
that's why you have them.
Okay.
We're in the final half hour, so just go wild with those strings.
Perry's gonna pull the string on Odo.
Yeah.
You spend a string on someone, tempt them to do what you want, give them a condition. I'm gonna tempt him to do what I want, which is to leave Caden alone. Okay. Bring Caden along with us. So let's see. I will say, my king, this one is precious to me. Name your price.
Aww.
Considering the fact that this one did just punch me twice in the face, I think that if we bring him along, I cannot promise what would happen to his memories. He is a construct, and those do not do well with our kind.
Does this mean that... What does that mean? I'm sorry. I don't know what that means.
It means that for all intents and purposes, if you guys bring him back, if you bring Caden back with you to the Fey realm or
Mhm.
whatever, it will now just be an empty vessel that will get filled up with something else.
Oh. Oh.
There is that possibility. He's not guaranteeing it. It is also kind of in line with how much does he feel like making an attempt to preserve what of Caden is in there. I guess that also begs the question: did Perry know? Does Perry know that about Caden? I can't remember.
I don't
Perry,
think so.
Perry was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they know
Right.
something's weird about Caden, but they
Yeah.
haven't figured it out.
Yeah. So Odo says that, and you're just kind of like, 2 and 2 equals 4, but I'm still putting that together. Hold on a moment.
Mhm.
But yeah, he just says that, the child is a construct. And so in which case, Odo implies that if he's feeling generous, depending on how well you serve him, he'll make more of an effort to preserve Caden's sense of self and memories if you guys all travel over to the Fate world together. If you don't serve him well, then, snap of his finger, Caden could wind up with you guys as a completely new person, or someone who's ready to be filled in as a new person.
I respond to all
Yeah.
of this immediately.
Yeah.
I am going to use my string on Odo
Okay.
to give him a condition.
Oh, yeah?
So while all of this is happening, I interject very quickly so I could catch his gaze again,
Mm-hmm.
and like as sexily as I can muster, given all of the hostile energy that has been taking place in this space at this point, I go, perhaps you're getting off on the wrong foot here. If you want us to entertain you, to be a part of your chaos, then I'd like to think that our chaos matters. I mean, we're young after all. We have a lot of chaos in us. Perhaps you shouldn't be so harsh. And I'm trying to give the condition embarrassed.
You're trying to make the faking feel embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the faking go, okay, maybe
My
if
bad.
if I just led with the chaos part the first time instead of doing all this weirdness, everybody would have been on board.
Or like contrite, just like, oh yeah, no, I took the wrong approach. Might be.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so weird because I don't know if Odo has ever felt shame in his life, but you get him on an off day. He has just been punched twice and his nose is probably broken, and he has this moment of hesitation, and he's just like, it's not so much the no, you're right, but you can see him running through this thought process of, wait, is that possible? Could I have actually gone about this the wrong way? Huh.
No, it's the children who are wrong.
Yeah. That's the vibe. That's the exact vibe. No, it is the children who are wrong. It couldn't be me. It could never be me. But
And
what if it was?
And while he's leaning into that, I'm still gonna draw from that that energy of
Mhm.
Odo wanting to give me something that I want from when I turned him on previously, and go,
Mhm.
everybody here wants to be a part of a little kind of trouble. And this party would have been the opportunity for them to have that organically. Maybe just let us do that. Maybe just give us the party that we came here for and watch what trouble we can cause on our own.
He like gives lifts his eyebrows and then gives you that appreciative smile again that you had seen on him previously. And then he just says, by all means, if you would like to do a little bit of trouble on your own, then I would be happy to watch. And as he says that, lifts up his hands and just gives a final look at Perry, as in a, like, hey, if you want that, I will make you that promise. And then snaps his fingers, and the beach returns to normal. Tay-Tay, you can now see everyone again. You're still not there, but you can see everyone again.
Okay.
If you would like to try and do something about it. How are you feeling? You try to say hi to someone and they just right up ignore you, and you're used to that. But everyone, the harvest moon is back, buttery yellow and beautiful. The ocean finishes its crash upon the shore, and a sudden chaos of noise rises up around you as all of your fellow students that were around there already and just kind of like just laughing and shouting. Someone's playing some real bad music somewhere, because it's never good music at these parties. And there's red Solo cups up the wazoo, and it's a party. Are you gonna give me some chaos? Well, Taylor, you can't give me chaos. You currently are invisible. Let's see. What is the exact...
I can interact with inanimate objects.
Good.
I would like to start throwing rocks at people.
Good. Love this chaos. Yeah, you could just do that. You just start throwing little, you just pick up, because you're down by the surf still, unless you kind of wandered around. There's tiny little rocks in the seashell.
I want to clarify, not massive rocks, just the pebbles that you find on a beach.
Yeah.
Just chucking them at people because she's in a panic state. Doesn't and she's like, she doesn't know if she just died again or what is
something
happening.
like that.
So she's throwing stones and she's yelling, "Hello! Hello!"
And the beach.
Oh, good. Look. Yep, there you go. Hey, there's the beach. It's the middle of the day in that picture. It's night for you guys, but obviously the beach doesn't photograph well, and I don't work at night. So, but yeah, this is I work right on the beach, basically. But so yeah, you guys are on the beach. You're enjoying a party. There's you guys. Well, I don't know if you guys notice, but there are little rocks being flung around. It could just be, the wind, the ocean. It could just be your erstwhile friend that just disappeared. I say friend only to Caden.
Eva knows, because Eva read in a diary at some point that this feels ghostly. Maybe Tay-Tay is having a moment, but they're not they're still focusing very intensely on Odo. As they very very coquettishly say, just because the party is here doesn't mean that we don't want to have fun with you. And I still have one forward.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna turn him on.
Okay. Let's do it.
Nice. Everybody's hooking up with Oberon today.
And that's another one. And submit.
Oh
no!
Even with that, ooh. And so you try that, and you're trying the little game that has worked before with others, with him, and you start to reach up to fix his collar or something like that, and he just immediately catches your hand and gives you the most bone-chilling look, and he just says, "Not with me, with them," and just nods his head at the others, just the random teenagers having a party, enjoying themselves, and just says, I will not interfere. I will not help. But you can also not make me a part of this. And then he just disappears. Because he can.
Okay. And I turned to Perry, like kind of half grinning at this point, and go,
Mhm.
I guess that's one way to get rid of the King of the Fae. Did you know that was gonna happen?
No, but I also wouldn't count on him being gone.
Fair enough.
He's still
Tricksters.
watching.
I guess we'll give him a show then. And I very immediately cast illusions on Lila.
Good. Roll me
So
that.
that means I roll with dark.
Yep. So in this case, you are expending your sympathetic token. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. You can still have it as far as narratively goes, but mechanically it's considered spent. Unless you roll really well, then I might just give you another one. But yeah, go ahead. Roll me some illusions. Yeah, there you go. Making up for it.
Nice.
What illusions are you casting on her?
I like non-existent subtext.
Oh, good.
So like I have no control over exactly what Lila is seeing, but I'm trying as much as possible to set the mood that Lila believes that everybody here is judging her.
Ooh.
Yeah, good.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so I think like what happens also, because Marius and Carrie had been in this other little pocket dimension, is that and you notice this ever like first because you were casting the spell on Lila, but also you notice that like wait a minute, like Carrie and Marius don't seem to have like Carrie looks immaculate still, not that she had just been rolling around in the sand by getting the wind choked out of her by a very angry ghost, and so you're just kind of like, okay, that is a little weird, but also it kind of plays into your hands because then like as Lila's there talking to Carrie, you can just see the change immediately come over Lila's face of just like this wall going up behind her and then like behind her gaze. And she like her posture shifts a little bit to just being like, and you said what to me? Like, excuse you? And then Carrie like picks up on that because they're both the same kind of girl. And then she just kind of was just like, what's your problem type of deal, and you just like watch their posture like shift and they're just trying to like excuse you to like out excuse you to each other without actually saying it. So it's actually really funny for you to watch. But Caden, how you doing? I'm just gonna have to preface that every time I come back to you because you're not doing well.
Caden's
No.
not okay.
Not great. He ain't doing great. Like, I assume he heard everything that was being said between all the other characters. Like,
Yeah.
the black box is not a literal one that he was in.
No.
So I think he looks between Eva and Perry and looks really hurt and walks towards the source of the stones. Just like, I don't even know what to say to you right now. And walks off and is going to try and find Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll roll gaze into the abyss to do it. And it's literally like walking into basically a horizontal hailstorm with actual pebbles at this point. But yeah, I'm going to try to do that.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
So I guess I will roll dark. I don't know if you regard me using my belief that I'm currently disposable in this moment, or whether I can sit on that for a little bit longer.
I mean, it could be because like you could just be like really embodying that when you're just kind of like, yeah, whatever. These stones can hit me like I might be disposable, but like also I don't think Taylor
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So if you want to spin it that way, then that would also help
Sweet.
help her overcome her darkest self,
All right, then
or her most invisible self, as it is.
I will write that down. Sorry, I just got handed food. It's very good.
Yay, food!
Yeah, food. Because I'm going straight into another stream after this.
Oh
So-
yeah,
Wee.
Whee! Partial success.
partial success. Okay. So gaze into the abyss on a partial success. The abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. So I think like as you do that and you head over to where the stones are, and you're playing up the like, hey, I might just be a 6-month-old baby in the form of a teenager, but you know what? Like Tay has had like an entire life up to this point, and it's not fair that she should be disposed of in this way. And so you just like, what does this look like to you to go and like you see her, and she, to you at least, doesn't look human, and it looks more like this like a ghost. I guess like a ghost, but like and it's not quite like wild beast sort of vibe, but it is like this indistinct shape of shifting as like this pain is like of what had happened to her is like pulling through her and like tearing her to pieces. And and it is also for the audience, for the people watching, it is like definitely some of that fey magic is still like clinging to it. So like Odo's like a little gold light is like coming like little sparkles of it in that vision of her. And so it's definitely confusing and alarming to you, but you're able to pinpoint where she is, and you just kind of like see her like yelling, but you can't hear anything, and you see her like picking up little stones and hurling them and so on.
I really like the visual of like because I don't know if she's noticed that I'm sort of beelining towards her at this point. Now
No,
I have
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, then I literally get in front of her and like maybe just as a stone leaves her hand, like it cracks me in the cheek and I don't even flinch. And I just like look right at her and say, I don't know how to be a person when you're not around.
Oh.
Because I know you know what it's like to not feel like you're from here.
Oh. Okay. Mab, I would like to say that probably brings her out of darkest
Probably.
self.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that was heartfelt.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry, Shannon.
Sing. Okay. Oh, do you need a second?
No, I'm fine.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
I've got more angst planned. Just like strap in.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Very
great.
good.
Okay. So to clarify, can Tay now properly see Caden?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Tay sort of looks with you with absolute bewilderment and shock. And then she's gonna give you like a massive sort of half collapse, half hug.
Oh, yes, good.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I think, and as he will definitely hug her back, sort of like pick her up a little bit, because I always like that visual, and just says quietly, "Look, I know you're a bitch, but like you're one of my favorite people."
Tay says, "You're one of my favorite people."
Oh.
Very good. Very good.
Good content. Perry.
So Perry's watching all of this, and also definitely feeling Oberon still watching them with that energy, not just like interest energy, but the turn someone on energy, which is a little bit more intense.
So you mean like the horny energy?
The horny energy. Yeah.
Big horny energy.
Big horny energy.
Big horny energy. So they walk up behind Caden and say, "Hey, let's talk for a minute. Can you
Okay.
give me a minute?"
I feel like I'm having a move used on me right now.
Probably going to, but I'm going to try to get a string on you. I'm probably going to use the, because that's all I've got.
Uh-huh.
Turn somebody on. It's my only superpower is turning people on.
You don't have a string on me, do
I
you?
don't. I'm going to try to get one though.
Alrighty.
Okay. And I'm going to use the wild hunt to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Boop, boop, boop. Did it work?
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah. So what?
All right.
What does this look like for you to like your fancy little your cute little date friend who's having a moment
Yeah.
with also the person who you are rivals with,
Mhm.
and you're just kind of like, excuse me, I'm gonna cut in here, and
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna speak low
So,
into the microphone.
What I'm gonna do is put an arm around each waist and say,
Oh, to each of Caden's waists, and I was like, oh wait,
well, yeah, Caden and
Caden and
Tay,
Tay-Tay,
yeah.
and say, I'm sorry to say this, but I can't stay here, but I
What?
don't want to. But I've got to say also that I don't want you to be alone, but I don't think you're going to be alone. And they're going to kind of push those two together and pull on those strings to kind of
Beautiful. Yeah.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
so what are you gonna do with those strings? Yes,
I'm gonna
yes, Ashlyn,
I'm
that's
gonna
right.
I'm gonna
Perry
use those-
voice is literally the now kiss meme with.
Yeah. So Perry is going to first kiss Caden and then kiss Tay Tay and then smoosh them together and pull the strings so that they acknowledge that they're actually in love.
Nerve.
I didn't know Perry was going to be such shipper trash, but here we are.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I think when
Good.
you start pulling on those strings, it is the same sort of visual that Oberon had because you're like really tapping into that Fae energy now, and it's just a really good look too. And that like as you pull your hands back from each of them, like the golden string kind of follows until you give it like a sharp tug, to enact the change that you so desire. And so what exactly you're tempting them to do what you want? It
Yes.
sounds like? Okay. You're tempting them to make out with each other.
To acknowledge their true feelings for each other. Let's
All right.
dial that back a little bit.
I mean, you're the one who pushed them together, like in the note.
But I didn't push their heads together. Like
Not physically.
so then Perry's just gonna kind of fade out from between them, you know, just kind of in back,
Homer
merge
Simpson
back into the
hedge.
party. Yeah, Homer Simpson into the hedge, Faye into the party. Yeah. Yeah.
Aww.
That's real good and upsetting. I love it.
And kind of a little bit, you know, a little bit sad face, but also like my work here is done.
You didn't do
Wow.
anything. Tuxedo masks on.
Amazing.
So after all of that happens,
Yeah.
Eva's going to catch up with Perry at the party and go,
Mhm.
that was like unnecessarily sweet of you back there.
I'm not all bad ever.
Agree to disagree. And I'm like literally going into my bag fishing for drugs at this point, and I'm like gesturing to the bag if Perry wants anything.
Yeah, hit me. Just whatever.
Just fuck me up.
One good time coming right up, and I just literally give Perry a random pill. So what did you mean about not sticking around?
I've got to go, Ever. I'm not. You may or may not have noticed, but I'm not of this plane of existence.
Who did we
Oh,
lose?
did we lose somebody?
Jade. No.
Oh, Jade's
Okay,
back.
there.
Okay, good.
So like I literally like point at myself and go, I know what it's like to not be from here. But that doesn't mean that you can't make this home.
That's true. And
Jade!
did we lose Jade again?
It's fine.
Okay, we'll just keep going until we need them again.
Yeah.
That's true, but also, well, I think that there are better things for me over there, and just because I'm there doesn't mean I can't come back here every once in a while. I mean, this is a fun place. It's got you in it.
The same thing I was thinking. Which is why I wanted to make a proposal.
And what is that proposal?
They want to propose to you? Marriage.
As previously noted, you owe a debt to me.
Always bringing that up.
And I never had any use for it before.
What do you want, Ever?
You.
Is that all?
I want you to stay. I don't relate to a lot of people around here. You know that. Having at least one person that understands would be nice. I'd like if that were you.
That's very sweet. If I stay, what will you offer me?
What would you like?
That's a big question, Ever. There's a lot of things I would like. How about this? My dance card just opened up quite a bit. A couple of dates with you, and then we'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to leave one day, you know. He's waiting for me.
Is he though?
Sure feels like it.
Sure feels like he was a dick to me.
Maybe a bit, but maybe he's the fun kind.
I'm literally putting a finger down my throat and then I stop.
I repeat, Ever is a bitch, and I like them so much.
I'll give you another year of my life here ever. But after that, I might not be able to be kept. It's in my nature.
Then we'll see.
We'll see. So where'd you get that diary?
I think we'll just cut there. That's all I had planned. Unless you guys want to do like a little next week at school. Odo's gone. But he's just fucked off, and no one really seems to remember the fact that he was there. But yeah, so that was all I had. Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was fun.
Okay.
Woo!
How you guys feeling? How you vibing?
Aw, I'm so glad that Tay got a nice happy ending and a friend.
Yeah,
too.
good times.
I'm pleased for her.
Perry
That-
goes, "You're welcome."
Taylor and Caden in particular had a lot going on. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad that came back together in a way that was not at all traumatizing.
I'm glad you guys
Yay.
resolved your trauma for the moment.
Oh,
All it
Lord.
took was a fairy.
Oh, fairy godparent. Perry.
Ashlyn asks in the chat if Perry's staying. Are they still dating Caden too, or ... question mark?
Probably gonna just take a gentle step back and see how those two do together.
I mean, it's a whole year. Make room for
Mhm.
polyamory, Jesus.
Right. Make room for polyamory Jesus.
That's what August just said in the chat. Perfect. Beautiful.
Giving them a little
Amazing.
space. Just a little.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Shall we do a sign off? Give everybody tell people where to find them, and then we'll
Yeah, everyone. Also, while we're here, remember we are raising money. Thanks, August, for incentivizing all of these roles. That was fantastic. Love to see those
Mhm.
failures. And what it is, we're raising money for Rosehip Medics in Portland. You can see in the chat we have all of that details there, where you can go to donate and what they're all about and stuff like that. We will be doing this for another three games. So I don't know, however long that is.
9 hours.
Thank you. That is math. Another 9 hours of this. Stick around. Yeah.
In 10 minutes, we're going live. Zachary is running Lancer for me, Brian, and Richard. We're playing in a setting called Dunland. It's going to be fun. Check it out. We're going to be mech pilots. We're going to be doing some fighting. It's going to be great.
Yeah, later on this evening, I'll be back with Brian and Danielle to be led in a game of Hope and Happenstance with special guest Honey, who actually wrote the game as well. And then we're rounding off with Jeff Stormer, and they're all going to be playing Anomaly for some high chaos fun. So again, stick around or continue to donate to Rosehip Medic. And yeah, where can we find all the rest of you guys on the internets?
Our guests first. Thank you so much
Mhm,
for
mhm.
joining us.
Oh,
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
It was
Thank
very
you
fun.
for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is really
Lots of fun.
rad.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Monsterhearts so much. It's just it's one of my absolute favorite games. I can be found, like I said at the start, on Twitter at Electo101, which I think is on the stream, but it's in small font. So ALECTO101. There's a link to my Patreon there, and my bio includes a link to the Rusty Quill Twitter account as well, so you can go and look at what I do over there too. And those are the main bits.
I did make this really big. Wow.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Brandon O'Brien once again. Pronouns he, him, or they, them. You can find me almost everywhere on the internet at The Rising Tithes. I'm the poetry editor of a magazine called Fire, a magazine of Black speculative fiction, which you can find at firelitmag.com, which is doing a lot of very rad things, including a new issue coming out in September and FireCon launching in October, which is going to be really rad, and I hope that you all get an opportunity to attend. And I'm also
Got my
the
ticket
GM.
already.
Yeah.
Nice. I look forward to seeing you around. And I'm also the GM of a new game called Sound Clash the Clampdown, which is using a rule set of my own design where you get to play musicians starting a rock band in a universe where music has magical properties and maybe the world is not as perfect as it should be as a result.
What?
So yeah, you can
No
definitely
way.
check that out on twitch.tv/arvaneleron every fortnight following up from the 6th of September. So I hope to see you all around there as well.
And you can drop links to those things in the Twitch chat or in the Discord, and one of us will be able to drop them in the Twitch chat as well. And Jade, where can people find you? Jade, where'd you go?
Did we lose a Jade?
Nope.
All right,
My
no one can
microphone
find.
was
Okay.
muted locally.
I was like, no
I
one can
was
find
kidding.
Jade anywhere.
No, you can still find me on Twitter at @JodeOxfordRose. You can hear me on Follow the Leader, on Dumb Kids Playing Hero, and I've been guesting on The Room Where It Happens, Bleed Arc, along with Mab, so you can hear me there. I like to play game in front of microphone. Let me play game.
I think I'm the last one. I'm the last
Yeah.
one. So hey, I'm Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at Big Mom Energy, and I am currently playing Molly on The Room Where It Happened. You can find that at Roomware Pod. We're in a sci-fi mixed with Appalachian universe situation. I'm also really happy to be part of the Standing Stones podcasting guild. And together with our powers combined, we're doing some fun stuff like this fun stuff right here. So
Woo!
check us out.
Yeah. And again, I'm Mab. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Little Lady Mab. You can find us at Stones_standing. And yeah, go donate. Stick around for some Lancer shenanigans. And we'll see you guys all in a bit. Thanks again to Helen and Brandon for coming. This was fantastic.
This was great. Yay.
Yeah, it was
All
really
right.
cool.
Yes, thanks
Bye.
so much.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
All right. Let me just